Alright guys, Simon here, we're playing Mass Effect. So in the last video we stole the Normandy. Gasp! We stole the Normandy, so now we're going to Ilos. So the council wants to ground us apparently, but we're not taking any of that, and Captain Anderson helped us steal the Normandy, so now we're going off to Ilos. I wonder about that little story segment. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's a very important part of the story, does it? I mean, the council wasn't really. I mean, was it Udina's idea? I mean, if Udina kind of helped us, spoke on our behalf, I think we could have convinced the council to let us go to Ilos. In any case, I wonder about that storyline, whether it's a good story or not. Huh. Anyway, we are at Ilos. Let's stop, pondering and start shooting gas. I think that's what we're gonna do pretty soon. What's going on here? That's cool, look at that. In the golden age of the Protheans, Ilos was a verdant world dotted with the spires and arches of magnificent cities. Spires and arches of magnificent cities. Spires and arches. Even casual observation shows this is no longer the case. It's been 50,000 years. Ilos has been devastated by means unknown, its entire surface changed to the color of rust. The atmosphere shows heightened levels of oxygen. Wildfires, presumably ignited by lightning strikes, can be seen burning on the dark side. This indicates that most, if not all, respirating animal life forms have died off. Surface gravity is a comfortable 1.17 standard Gs. Okay. So all the animals are dead, but the plants are still there. I find that difficult to believe. If they've been away for 50,000 years. 50,000 years is a long time for animals to recover. Unless, like, it is completely extinct, in which case that's kinda crazy.
Shepard, may I speak with you?
I was just thinking about you.
I have been thinking about you too, and what we are about to face. I do not know what is going to happen on Ilos. I hope we will stop Saren, of course, but part of me fears we are already too late. There is something I must tell you, in case we fail.
We're not going to fail. I promise.
Please, I am not looking for comfort. Saren might already have the conduit. It is time to be completely honest with each other. These could be our last moments together. Our last chance to show each other how we feel. I want this to be special.
I want this, Liara.
I clicked the wrong thing.
But are you sure you're ready?
I clicked the wrong thing.
I have never been more sure of anything in my life. Will you join with me, Shepard? Let our bodies and minds unite.
Just tell me what to do.
Controversy. Lesbian sex. So this caused a bit of controversy when Mass Effect was first released. I mean, it wasn't really. I don't know if it was fake controversy or what. It's lesbian sex. But I mean, consider, well, when we get to Mass Effect 3, you see it. Like, how far we've come from then. I guess this was, a fairly... I mean, they took a risk, I think, with this.
By the goddess, that was incredible, Shepard.
There could have been backlash, maybe. Also, I don't remember what that scene would be like with the man chef. Maybe it's pretty much the same. I think it's pretty much the same, actually.
You were incredible.
No,
5 minutes ETA to the Mu relay.
No, you were incredible.
I had better go. Duty calls. You would not want to keep Joker waiting. Shepard, whatever happens on Ilos, I just wanted to say thank you for everything.
Alright, there you go. Huh, that was more explicit than I remembered. Like, there was Liara butt You can see the butts. Yeah. Okay. There's not much to that relationship though, is there? I mean, if you kind of go back on the story. Okay, well, let's put it this way. The relationships, whether romantic or not, in the second and third game are much more developed than you see here. Like in this game, they had the idea there, and they did a little, they did a few things, like the relationships between the
Commander?
characters.
We've got company.
Have their sensors picked us up yet?
Well, stealth systems are engaged. Unless we get close enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us something closer.
There is nowhere closer. I've looked.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? No way we can make a drop in there.
We have to try.
Find another landing zone!
There is no other landing zone!
The descent angle's too steep.
It's our only option.
It's not an option, it's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker,
I can do it.
gear up and head down to the Mako. Joker, drop us right on top of that bastard.
Alright. As I was saying, yeah, the relationship between the characters are better developed in the second and third games. I mean, they saw that it was a strength, and that what they did in the first game was a good idea, and it kind of really just ran with it in the second game. Maybe a little too much, but they certainly ran with it, and it's much more interesting there. I mean, the quote-unquote relationship here with Liara, you just meet her, and then it happens. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you know, she can just go straight for you, and then you can go straight for her, and there's nothing else there. Like, it's really easy. It's just really, really easy. Although in the third game, it's also quite easy, in the sense that, you know, things just work, which seems a little bit unrealistic. You know, unless you're really drunk, things don't just work like that, right? Anyway, let me just go back to the game. Like, you don't even have to try, really. You actually have to make the effort to say no, otherwise they just keep going. That's basically relationships in this game.
You two, keep moving inside now.
Well,
We have to get inside this bunker before Saren finds the conduit. There is no way we're getting past that door with brute force.
Saren found some way to open it. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex.
We will have to find some way to get it up and running again.
alright, so here we go. We were kind of dropped right on top of Saren, but we missed him anyway. That must be some really serious bass in the background, except my headphones are terrible at bass, so I can't tell. That deep rumbling bass. There's an enemy back there. Let me... They're all gonna run towards us. Fail. Alright, well, see what happens. Geth Trooper, look at that. Also statues. Should I? Oh, here we go. Oh, that failed. I love this. This sniper rifle is now like a cross between a sniper rifle and a rocket launcher. Like you shoot things and then there's a massive explosion on the other end. Completely overpowered. Alright, so we're here, we're supposed to go that way. Look at the architecture here. It's slightly different. I mean, it's still technically white concrete, but they put plants over it. So it's slightly less white. Or actually, it's more stained concrete, I guess. So now it really does look older than, you know, on Pharos. Was it Pharos? But it's still... it's also bigger. Like it's more bulky. It's more massive. Do you see this? Where are they? Okay. It's also like bulkier and more massive, which, you know, suggests older buildings. What happens is, you know, when older buildings are usually bulkier. I think I said that back in Pharos. Like, older buildings are bulkier because their engineering wasn't as good, and so they kind of overbuilt all their buildings. So everything's kind of bigger than they need to be to make sure everything stands up. So anything that's really bulky suggests old architecture. Except here it doesn't really make sense because the Protheans are more advanced than we are, so it shouldn't actually be bulkier. But, you know, when you ask people... Like, I guess they're not expecting people to think this carefully about the architecture. Like, if you're not thinking about this thing in detail, then you just look at it and say, oh, it looks old. And you don't question why it looks old, then it works, I guess. But if you do ask the question, you know, why does this look old, then it doesn't actually make sense anymore. Because, you know, old... Yeah, well, yeah. Because the technology level is a difference from the age. Where are they? This guy's back there too. What is going on here? Do I need to do something about that guy? Alright, he's dead. Do I need to do something? Oh, I do. Alright, who else? This is a kind of a confusing area too, look at that. This is a lower level, we can kind of go up. Actually no, that's zoom. Can I look up? No, I can't. But yeah, it's a fairly complicated level. I'll see if you can figure it out. So we came out of the trench and we just turned right, and then kind of came back 180 degrees, and then came down, if you're following me. And then now this thing goes underneath where we were, and then it goes back up the other side. So it's kind of complicated. Which I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Having a... I'm so fail. So fail. I just stop talking. No, don't save. Stop talking. Focus on the hacking. Also, you know, all that time before doing the side quests, I didn't really have anything to talk about. And then now all of a sudden towards the end, there's all these interesting things showing up. So you can see how they really focused all of their attention on the end, or rather on the second half of the main quest. Like they focused everything on this. Like this, look how interesting this is compared to the crap in the side quest. You know, all the copy and paste warehouses. This is so much more interesting than that. And I mean, I'm kind of sorry to have to put you through all that other stuff before. But maybe it's, you know, it's important to compare that with this, and just see what they're capable of doing compared to what they eventually spent a lot of time doing, which is the crap stuff. Or rather, they didn't spend much time doing that, probably, because it's copy and paste. But they end up making a lot of the game that. like a large proportion of the gameplay is that crap stuff. When they are actually capable of much better like this. And I think most people who love this game remember it for this stuff, the good stuff, and they kind of just gloss over the bad stuff. But just recording these videos has actually been quite interesting for me, because you can, you know, I see the number of videos, and I can see just how much of the game was actually not very good. Like how much of the gameplay was not very good. I shouldn't say how much of the game, because in some ways it's a small part of the game. It just takes a long time to get through. Yeah, the crap stuff, because it's all copy and paste, so it's not. I mean, do you say it's big or small if it's all the same stuff? I mean, it's only one warehouse technically. It's just been copied a lot of times. These are robots. Oh, that's right, I disabled them downstairs. Okay, well that's good. So now we're back here. So these things were where we shot a couple of those geth earlier. We came, yeah, up this way and then went downstairs there. So there's like a circle here. Oh crap, don't do that. Alright, don't do that. So the car's here. We kind of came up here, went down here, went around there, and then came back up here. And then there's all of this. One path goes this way. I think we go up and around here as well. So there's like 1 and then 2 and then maybe like 3 circles. So it's a really complicated map actually. I mean, most of the previous parts of the game is just one path. Just go in and out, or at least back on Novaria, on Peak 15, there was like a cloverleaf sort of a... Oh, this is so bad. Sort of cloverleaf layout where there's a central, you know, connection between several areas. You should remember, you know, getting the mainframe back online and stuff like that. So you're gonna go in one door, do a few things, come back out, go in another door, do a few things, come back out. So there was that layout. Ah, I'm so bad. But you know, all of that is, it's kind of, the layout's fairly simple compared to this. And this is only just us fighting Geth and then getting loot. It's not even a, you know, it's not even a complicated part of the gameplay. It's just a complicated level. Why is this so hard? Why am I having such a hard time with this? I missed it. There we go. Alright, so got those.